Transition closing.
The professional men on their way, and they come to Massive Field.
Doing facility.
Representing the nation of Kazakhstan.
Welcome to the 6th edition of IRONMAN 70.3 Dubai. My name is Paul Kay, and it's so beautiful to be back with you. Everybody on Facebook, to listen up carefully to the race briefing, because remember, it's your responsibility as registered athletes in the IRONMAN 70.3 Dubai to know the rules and to know the course. And the whole point of the back up to speed on what to do and, more importantly, what not to do as we deliver safe return to racing. So I'm one of the announcers that'll be with you over the race weekend, and we, the announcers, cannot wait to party with you down the magic carpet on Jumeirah Public Beach, the finish line of IRONMAN 70.3 Dubai. Fahmi, who's joining us from Oman, will be doing the announcing in Arabic and in English. Your local race director is Abbas Musa. He and his team here in the UAE Triathlon Federation have done a massive amount of work in partnership with the Ironman EMEA team to get this race happening. When so many events are being postponed or cancelled, here we are. We're back in Dubai, we're back in the United Emirates, and we are racing. And I think we need to show our gratitude for that, we need to show our respect for that, and we need to celebrate it. So in terms of that safe return to racing, on your profile on active.com, you would have filled in your health questionnaire and your screening questionnaire. So please ensure that if you haven't done that yet, you go onto active.com and you complete that. Also make sure that for those of you that have traveled here, you've had to have PVR tests, COVID tests. Make sure you've got that negative PCR test with you to show when you come to registration. For those of you that are local, well, the race team have been amazing. They've set up a test station at our race village where you can get your PCR test. Please be sure to stick to the designated times that you have chosen to come to registration and to go to bike check-in. This race briefing happening online, and when we're done, our regional director for the Middle East, Nico Aishiman, will be here to take all of your questions. So if you want, you can actually start typing your questions in the comments column. Please be sure that you're wearing a face covering at all times, not just something simple like a buff. Make sure that you are wearing a proper face covering, a proper mask. It could be a cloth mask, it could be one of these surgical paper masks, but please be sure that at all times you're covering your face, you're washing your hands, you are sanitizing, you're keeping your distance. Essentially, it's a full double arm's length between you and the next person. And remember, no hugs, no kisses, no high fives, but a little bit of fist bump. Let's make sure we celebrate. Please go into ironman.com and make sure that you are familiar with the guideline to the safe return to racing. I want to show you the venue a little bit. On your screen right now is our race village. The big green square in the middle, bordered by the red, that is the expo zone. Now what we're going to do is we're going to try and discourage contraflow of traffic. So we want a one-way flow of traffic through our village. You will enter the race village and you'll go through a screening process. Temperature checks will be done. You'll produce your PCR tests. If for whatever reason your temperature at the time is taken and it's above the threshold of, I think it's 37.8 degrees Celsius, we'll move you into a medical tent area where we will test you again. If there you continue to show symptoms, we'll check your oxygen saturation levels, you'll then be removed to a medical isolation area. So we are doing everything we can to look after you and to make sure that you are well cared for, and those of you that are healthy are not subjected to anybody that is not healthy. After you've gone through the screening, you'll enter our expo area. Please support all our sponsors and exhibitors. They are there for you, and they can't wait to see you. Then make your way into our registration tent. That's the big white rectangle at the top of the slide. You'll enter as you look at the screen on the right-hand side. You'll go through the registration process, very much what you're used to. And you'll exit that back into the expo area, and then you exit the expo after supporting all our sponsors, please. And then you'll make your way out into the Jumeirah Beach Road yet again. Just reminding you, face coverings are compulsory. Before you start the registration process, as you enter the village, you'll go through the health screening. Give yourselves about an extra 20 minutes. Give yourselves lots of extra time to go through the health screening, to go through this whole process, and give yourselves more time to immerse yourself at being back at a race. How beautiful that's going to be. Make sure you've been to active.com and chosen your time slot that you're going to be joining us, and you'll receive that, fill in the form that you'll receive via email. Please do observe the distance markers on the ground, be they stickers, be they spray paint, be they cones, to make sure everybody's 2 meters apart. And don't feel bad about telling somebody, excuse me, please keep your distance. But do it nicely, do it politely. And remember, we're all wearing masks, so So smile with your eyes. Registration is pretty much what you're used to if you're brand new to Ironman racing. A huge welcome to you. Almost 500 athletes are doing their first Ironman 70.3 this weekend. Welcome to our big, beautiful family. It's all happening at the Race Village on the Jumeirah Public Beach. Registration is Thursday morning from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. No registration possible on Friday, which is race day. In your race pack, you will receive your bib number. The bib number is mandatory that you wear it on the bike, on your back, facing backwards. It's mandatory that you wear it on the run, facing forwards. The bib number is so that we can see you, and so that we can see your number, and so that the Finisher Picks team, can get amazing photographs of you, identify you, and send you the link to buy your photographs. That's the primary reason for the race number. The secondary reason for the race number is so that we and the spectators that are allowed to be there, and there won't be that many because of social distancing and because of the removal of the grandstands and stuff like that. But the race number, the bib number, is how we can shout out your name and wish you well. We can go, Namu, Sheikh Nasser, good luck, Peter, feel success, ho Biana ho, hop, 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 heya, heya, Paul, whatever it takes. We want to celebrate you and support you. So bib number on the back, on the bike, and on the front, on the run. You have to wear the official event swim cap that's provided. You get one sticker for the front center of your helmet. You get a sticker for your white swimwear bag, your white streetwear bag, should I say. So a sticker for the white streetwear bag, you get a sticker for the blue bike bag, and you get a sticker for the red run bag. You get an athlete wristband. Please be sure that you wear the athlete wristband at all times. And as a matter of fact, if you're doing your first Ironman 70.3, don't take it off until it falls off. The tattoos we give you are cool because they're going to give you a great tan, and you're going to get a tan on Friday. I can promise you that. I hope you're hydrating now already. I hope you're staying cool now, but yet doing your short runs and your short bike rides outside, getting used to the conditions. It is going to be warm. Tattoos are optional, but we recommend you wear them because you're riding on the right-hand side of the road. Make sure if you only get one set, put them on left arm and left leg. Timing chip, you do not receive the timing chip at registration. You receive the timing chip when you check in your bike. Relay athletes, welcome to you as well. Everything I've said about that applies to the individual athletes applies to you as relay athletes as well. However, you get two separate bib numbers. The cyclist can pin that bib number to their bike jersey on the back. The runner can pin it to their singlet on the front. Each of you gets a wristband, and you also get a timing chip, and the timing chip is your baton. The swimmer starts with the timing chip around their ankle. When the swimmer's finished, you give that timing chip to your cyclist. When the cyclist is finished, the cyclist gives that timing chip to the runner. The timing chip will be given at the finish, taken off by the runner, and put into the small bowls of sanitizing liquids at the end of your race. Please be sure that you all, individual athletes and relay athletes, please complete all your medical details and your emergency contact numbers on the reverse of your bib number. Do so in ballpoint. One of the reasons why we do not allow you to swim with your bib number on is because the water destroys the bib number, and it usually falls off on the bike, but it also destroys the information that you've completed, including your emergency contact details and your medical details. So please, no bib number on the swim, compulsory at the back on the bike, compulsory in front on the run. Please put the bike sticker on your bike so that it's clearly visible. One sticker front and center for your helmet. Sticker for the white transition bag or your streetwear bag. Sticker for the blue bike bag, and sticker for the red run bag. The race number stickers that we give you are the only means of identifying your gear and your transition bags. These transition bags you'll bring with you to bike check-in on Thursday. At registration, you receive the wristband. Please keep that on at all times. That gets you into the transition area, that gets you into the pre-start area, and that also will entitle you to the athlete finish area. And if you are collecting trophies, that will get you your trophy as well. Check-in times on Thursday between 9:30 a.m. and 6:30 p.m. Please stick to the time that you've chosen to come and check in. Make sure that your transition bags are clearly labeled. Make sure that your gear is clearly labeled. Arrive at your chosen time slot. Please be sure that you're wearing your bib number and that it's visible. Be sure that you're wearing your helmet and your chin strap is fastened, and arrive with your transition bags, and be sure that your bicycle is race ready and road worthy. We're operating on a no contact basis, so the referees are not going to physically remove your helmet to check it themselves. You remove your helmet, you show it to them that there's no cracks and that it's going to protect you during the race. Show them that your brakes are working and that your bike will stop, your skewers are tightened, and all that good stuff. Then you will rack your bike and you'll leave your you will rack your bike and you'll leave your red run bag with your bike. Because we're minimizing changing in change tents. So the red run bag will stay with the bike. The blue bike bag will go onto the racks, because there are a lot of people potentially who post-swim need to get changed in the change tent. Don't panic. When you come to bike check-in on Thursday, this will be a lot more obvious to you. Please be sure that you're wearing a mask at all times during the check-in process. And be sure that you've chosen your time that you're coming for check-in, and stick to your chosen time. You'll receive that timing chip once you've completed bike check-in from our timing crew. I always tell people, put the timing chip on immediately. I always tell them to put the timing chip on their left ankle, which is the op of your bicycle. Always wear your timing chip, swim, bike, and run. And at the end of the race, you take your timing chip off and leave it in the sanitizing bowls we have left with you. If you lose a timing chip after the swim, go to the timing team, they'll give you a new one. If you lose a timing chip when you arrive, before you even start, we will have staff with spare timing chips for you. Okay, and we'll give you a new timing chip. Your responsibility to make sure you've got your timing chip on your left ankle, and your responsibility to make sure you wear it for swim, bike, and run. No chip, no time. No time, no result. No result, no trophy, no world championship slot. Looking at the flow when you come for bike check-in, you're going to enter the bike check-in transition zone from the side closest to Jumeirah Beach Road, where that cafe is on the running track, closest to the Burj Al Arab. You'll enter from that side, you'll go to your numbered position on the rack, rack your bike, hang it from the saddle, and leave your red run bag there. Then you'll walk down to the beach side of the transition zone, where we have the racks for you to hang your blue bag. Please hang your blue bag according to your race number. You'll then exit the transition zone after receiving your timing chip, and that exit is closest to the race village and finish line area. At check-in, you need a roadworthy, race-ready bike, you need your bib number, you need your helmet, and you need your transition bags. Please remember to keep your mask on at all times. Bike, bib number, helmet, and transition bags stay in the transition overnight. We'll give you full access to bicycle transition bags on race day morning. My recommendation is it's going to be pretty warm. I recommend you only put your bottles and your nutrition on your bike on Friday morning before your race starts. Now, the day we thought would never come again, but here it is. Race day, IRONMAN 70.3 Dubai. We will have mechanics available for you in the transition zone. Do not wear your bib number under your wetsuit if it's a wetsuit legal swim. If it's a non-wetsuit swim, you may still not wear your bib number. You may not do any custom markings to your gear other than the race stickers we give you. You may not wear anything that goes over your ankle or over your wrists for the swim, so nothing that will web your hands or web your feet. And if it's, you may wear calf guards between knee and ankle if it's wetsuit legal. If it's a non-wetsuit swim, you may not wear anything that goes beyond the knee or beyond the elbow. It's going to be very, very busy on bike check-in day. It's going to be very, very busy on race day on Friday. There is no official parking for athletes or even for us event folk either. We recommend that you get dropped off on Jumeirah Road and you walk down the couple of blocks to the beach road to the transition zone. There's going to be a huge amount of congestion. Beach Road is closed. Please do not even try get to Beach Road. And if you've got an Uber or a taxi or a friend or a family member dropping you off, please drop off on Jumeirah Road. Do not come down to Beach Road. Do not forget your timing chip. Do not forget your swim gear, swim cap, goggles. Make sure your wristband is on. Timing chip on your left ankle. Stick to your race plan. No radical changes on race day. Wake up early and give yourselves plenty of time to enjoy the beautiful nerves and excitement and celebration of race day morning. Transition opens at 5 a.m. and will open the gates to the swim start area and to the holding area at 5:45. I remind you that the race is starting at 6:30 this year. We are 6 weeks later than normal, so it means it was warmer than normal. So we're starting the race earlier to give you a bit more time in the cool weather. Pro men will be at 6:30, pro women at 6:33, and you, amazing age groupers from 86 nations around the world, including 500 first-timers, you start from 6:40 onwards with a rolling start. When you go tomorrow to bike check-in, do a little walk around, memorize your way through our transition area, and even when you leave on race day morning and you walk down the beach towards the swim start staging area, just remember that route so that you know for after the swim. Transition zone closes at 6:30 a.m. That only gives you 10 minutes to get to the start area. Your white bag, so the white bag is for your streetwear gear. So in other words, the gear that you arrived in. So if you're going to arrive in some clothes and spare shoes, into that white bag will be your dry clothes, your shoes, and maybe your room card. Do not put mobile phones or wallets or credit cards in that white bag. Put as little as possible in there. As you leave the transition zone to make your way towards the swim start area, leave it with our volunteers and we'll have it waiting for you when you've completed your 113 miles, your 70.3 miles, your 113 kilometers of swim, bike, run, IRONMAN 70.3 Dubai. In the transition zone, we have a dedicated handover area for our relay competitors. So the swimmer will put the timing chip on the left ankle, walk out to the swim staging area. The cyclist will be fully dressed, ready and waiting in the change area, or in the holding area for the relay athletes, which is very close to the changing area. The swimmer will come in, go into the relay handover zone, give the cyclist the timing chip. Cyclist put it around the left ankle, run the same way the individual athletes run towards the rack where the bike is racked, unrack the bike, push it to the mount line, and then start cycling. When the cyclist is done, get off the bike at the dismount line, push your bike to your racking position according to your race number, rack the bike, run through the racks to the handover area, and give your runner the timing chip. Remember, timing chip is your baton. Cyclist and the teams, please have the number on the back. Run and the teams, please have your number on the front. Please be cautious in the transition zone and be aware of all the athletes around you, especially the individual athletes. Do not impede their forward progress. You too will have a white streetwear bag which you drop off on race day morning, and you'll get that at the end of your race. So the transition flow, you'll come out from the swim, you'll go through the blue bag racks, get changed, put all your wet gear into the blue bag, run to your bike, unrack your bike, push it out of transition until you get the mount line, get onto your bicycle and go and fly on this awesome, super fast 90-kilometer course into the desert and back. Your swim course is a one-loop swim, swimming clockwise. That means keep all the buoys on your right shoulder. You have 1 hour and 10 minutes from when you go over the start mat. So not when the first athlete leaves. 1 hour and 10 minutes from when your timing chip goes over the start mat on the beach. That's when your race time starts. And your race time pretty much stops when you go under the showers. We'll announce the official water temperature on race day morning, and we'll tell you whether it is wetsuit legal or not. Remember, no compression socks or gloves in the swim. Calf guards are only allowed if it is a wetsuit legal swim. We will be doing a rolling swim start. In the pre-start area, remember, keep your masks on and keep your distance. Self-seed according to your expected swim time, and be honest about that. You've got nothing to gain by standing up front in a time way faster than what you normally can swim. Listen to the instructions from us announcers. There'll be cones on the ground making sure that we separate you the 2 meters. Please keep your masks on until the athlete in front of you starts. And there'll be bins there. You must throw your masks into those rubbish bins. Not throwing it into the bin is littering. Littering is a DQ. So self-seed yourself according to your expected swim time for 1,900 meters in open water. We've got sanitizers everywhere. Make sure you sanitize. Make sure you're wearing your mask. No physical contact. Fist bumps only. And about 12 seconds before you start. So basically when the row or the 2 rows in front of you, when they start, that's when you can discard your mask into the bins provided and you can get ready to roll. We will have 4 athletes starting every 5 seconds. Once you've completed the swim, you must pass underneath the shower arch before you go into the transition zone. 6:30 pro men, 6:33 pro women, 6:40, the rolling start for our amazing age group amateurs. 4 athletes every 5 seconds. Relay athletes, you do not start according to your expected swim time. Relay athletes, all relay athletes are the last group of athletes to start. If for whatever reason you do not start the race, or if you drop out from the race, please advise the race director. Please advise a member of the medical team, or go to the race office and advise the race office that you have withdrawn. If you do not do so, we will start a search party looking for you. The costs of that search party will be for your costs, and you face a potential ban from Ironman racing. Let's look at that start. So, the transition zone is behind you to your right. The ocean is in front of you. You'll be in the pre-start area. As you face the ocean, you will filter left into the swim start area where the cones are separating. You see how we split everybody off. You still got your mask on. You're not touching anybody. You're using the hand sanitizers provided. Then we channel you into the 4 channels, which are 2 meters apart, and still you stay 2 meters away from the athlete in front of you. When 2 rows in front of you starts into the water, that's when you discard your mask, leave it in the bins, and off you go. Once you're done with the swim, you go through the showers, you go into the transition zone, you go to your blue bag with your race number on it, put all your wet gear, swim cap, goggles, wetsuit into that bag, put your bike gear on, hang your bag again, and make your way towards your bicycle with your race number on it, unrack that, and push that. Once you're over the mount line, you are racing. Remember, on the bike course, keep right at all times, pass left. Awesome bike course, out into the desert, 90 Ks out, 90 Ks back, keeping right at all times. 1 hour 10 to swim, 5 hours and 30 minutes to swim, transition, and bike. We do have interim cutoffs on the bike course, which is based on time of day. The reason it's a time of day cutoff on the bike course because it is directly related to the times the officials have given Ironman when they're going to reopen the roads. So if you do not make 49 kilometers by 11:15 a.m., we take you off the course. If you do not make 68 kilometers by 12 p.m., we take you off the course. We have mechanics out there, but you do need to be reasonably self-sufficient. You need to know how to do the basic repairs yourself, and you need to have basic spares with you. They will be out there, they'll be roaming, but remember, they're looking after 1,400 athletes spread out over 90 kilometers. We work on a first-come, first-served basis, and some of the spares you'll be charged for at the end of the race. So your first aid station is about kilometer 22 on your way out. Your second aid station is after you've turned around and you're making your way back. And your final aid station is just across the road from the first aid station on your way back to our race village at the Jumeirah Public Beach. Lots of fluids and energy products available for you out there. Thank you to the team at GU who's going to make sure you have a good time. GU gels, GU isotonic sports drink out there. We have water out there as well in sports-specific bottles. The volunteers will hold them out for you. Slow down, grab, and go. But remember, no littering. So we have a litter zone. 50 meters before the aid station. On the bike and on the run. So now you're done with the bike course. You got back to the Jumeirah Public Beach. You get off your bike before the dismount line, push your bike into transition, and re-rack your bike at your parking spot according to your race number. Then, only once you've racked your bike, may you undo the chin strap, remove your helmet. Get into your run gear, which is in your red bag parked at your bike. Pack all your superfluous bike gear into that red run bag and put it next to your bike, and follow the route out of transition onto the 1.5 loop, 21.1 kilometer half marathon run course. Flat and super fast, but it will be warm, so be sure to take advantage of the aid stations we got out there, but you need to be hydrating now already. Cut off for the swim, 1 hour 10. Cut off for swim and bike, 5 hours 30. Cut off for swim, T1, bike, T2, and run. Aid stations out on the run course. All your liquids are provided to you on the table. Remember, we're operating on a no-contact basis. It's self-service, touch only what you're prepared to take. Again, no littering allowed. So we have a litter zone before the aid station, and we have a litter zone after the aid station. Please use these zones. Rules and regulations. Remember, it's your responsibility to know the rules and regulations. I'm going to remind you about some of the basics. This is a non-drafting race. We work on 12 meters from the front wheel of the athlete in front of you to your front wheel. You have 25 seconds to move alongside the athlete you're overtaking. When your front wheel is alongside theirs, they must drop back 25 meters, and off you go, and you merge back to the right. Once you start the pass, you must make the pass. If you don't make the pass, you'll be considered to be drafting. If you do not drop back, you will be drafting. 5-minute blue card. No two athletes side by side other than when doing an overtaking maneuver. Please keep right at all times and pass on the left. Littering will see you get a red card. Do not urinate in public. Red card. No electronic devices like GoPro cameras or mobile phones or MP3 devices. Not allowed. Only the watch on your wrist and the computer on your bike. No outside assistance. No pacing. None of that is allowed. 12 meters front wheel to front wheel. 25 seconds to pull alongside the athlete. And then the athlete being passed must drop back. Minor infringements and stuff like blocking will see you get a 30-second penalty. Drafting will see you get a 5-minute penalty. Littering, unsportsmanlike behavior, urinating in public, public nudity, crossing the center white line. These kind of offenses will see you disqualified. Red card. Any 3 cards will see you disqualified as well. Even 3 yellows at the discretion of a referee can see you being disqualified. Your responsibility to know what color card you were shown and your responsibility to report at the penalty tent and serve that penalty. The penalty tent is inside the transition zone. So after the bike, you go into transition, you go to the transition tent, you tell the official there, I got a yellow card, sign in, 30 seconds. I got a blue card, sign in, 5 minutes. You cannot appeal a fact-based referee's decision. However, should you wish to lodge a protest, should you wish to appeal, you can do so on race day between 3:30 and 5 p.m. It's going to cost you 200 dirhams. Make sure you lodge any appeal or protest before 5 p.m. actually, because that's when we're going to start allowing athletes to collect their trophies, those that are in the top 3. On the run course, remember, no public nudity, but I just want to talk about the race jersey rule. You may have your zip down, but it may not be fully undone. So it must still stay attached at the bottom. And when you come down the finish line, please zip up. Make sure you're looking good. Also, jogging bras and crop tops are allowed. No shortcuts on the run course. Do not cut the course short. Do not relieve yourself in public. Do not litter. No electronic devices. No outside assistance. No pacing. You may not bring anyone down the finish line with you. Only registered athletes who are competing in the event wearing a wristband, wearing their bib number facing forward with a timing chip on their left ankle who have completed the event may come down the finish line. Do not bring family members, friends, pets down the finish line with you. Likewise, due to social distancing and the safe return to racing protocols, relay teams, only the runner may come down the finish line. Only the runner can come down the finish line. Please, no high fives. Gentle fist bumps, we can do. Keep your face covered when not racing. You'll get your finisher medal as you leave the finisher area and make your way towards the athlete garden. You'll also get a face mask there. You'll have sanitizing stations there as well. Then make your way into what was the registration tent, where you will receive the awesome finisher gift, which is a finisher puff jacket. Thereafter, you'll receive your food parcel, and you make your way into the enlarged athlete garden, where you can enjoy your food parcel and share war stories and celebrations with your fellow athletes. Once you've finished your race, please remove your timing chip yourself and leave it in the sanitizing bowls we have provided. Even in the athlete garden, which we have enlarged, we want you to avoid contact with others. Please follow the one-way direction flow from finish to getting your puffer jacket, to getting your food parcel, to making your way into the athlete garden. There will be no massage facilities this year for very obvious reasons. Member of the relay team, remember, swimmer gives the timing chip to the cyclist, cyclist gives the timing chip to the runner, runner comes down the finish line. The runner will collect the finisher medals and give them to the swimmer and to the cyclist. Remember, relay teams, only the runner may come down the finish line. The runner will then leave the timing chip in the sanitizing bowls provided, and then the cyclist must please remember to keep the wristband on and keep the bib number to be able to remove your bicycle from the transition zone. Checkout times are between 11 and 5 on Friday. You'll enter from the run exit into the transition zone. Please leave your stickers on your bike and keep your wrist number and your bib number on. There'll be no formal award ceremony. The top 6 professional male and females will be awarded on the finish line. All age group winners of trophies, the top 3 in your age groups, those trophies will be available for collection between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. at the race venue. Please be sure you still have your wristband on to verify that it is you. Your result will be checked. If you're in the top 3, you shall receive your trophy. There will be no formal slot allocation. You indicated online whether you wish to accept a World Championship slot or not. So only people that indicated that they wish to be eligible for a World Championship slot, please take note of the following. Only athletes who answered yes are eligible for slot allocation. These athletes will have 48 hours to confirm their slot by following the registration procedure that will be sent to them via email. Athletes who do not respond within 48 hours will forfeit their right to accept the World Championship slot. And if you haven't responded within 48 hours, the usual roll down process will happen. For those that have indicated that they wish to be eligible, they will then be contacted. An email will be sent to every eligible athlete as we roll down through the results. Please be sure to check your emails, and please also check your spam and your junk mail folders. We have 50 slots for age groupers, and we have an additional 25 slots for our female competitors thanks to the Women for Try series. The cost of the slot is $525 plus active admin fees. The team from Finisher Picks will be here to capture this very, very memorable moment. Our first return to racing post-COVID. The last time I was at a race was Ironman 70.3 Dubai, February 2020. It's so good to be back. It's so good to have you with us. I hope you've been filling in all your questions in the comments below. Nico Asherman, our regional director for Ironman Middle East, he and myself will handle your questions now. For those of you that don't have questions, thank you for being a part of Ironman 70.3 Dubai in its 6th edition. Thank you for being here. We wish you good luck, but most of all, let's make Friday a celebration of swim, bike, and run. Let's make it a celebration of returning to racing. Let's make it a celebration of you and all the other athletes and our incredible volunteers. Shukran, thank you, and good luck. Well, there we go. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. We can see all your comments. Nico Asherman, our regional director. Just so that you know, we are observing all COVID protocols. We are both PCR tested. That's how we got into the country. Luckily, we're both. The only time you want to be negative, right? Otherwise, you're going to be a positive person. But the only time you want to be negative is when you have the PCR test and the sliding doors behind us are wide open. We're at the beautiful Maidan Hotel, which is the official race hotel of Ironman 70.3 Dubai. Nico, you're the clever guy. I'm just the guy who's going to ask the questions. One of the questions that was asked here is, it's a question I see on the YouTube link. It's a question I'm seeing on our Facebook comments as well, is where do they go and check what time they can check their bikes in?
Yeah, that's a link there, a time they've chosen themselves on active.com. So you just log in to your registration in Active, to your profile, and this is where you can choose it from. Other than that, there should have been an email gone out to all athletes with a link to that specific information where you choose your time when you're checking your bike. And
okay, very good. I hope that answers the question. But also, what we can do is, when people want to, they can pop into our expo. They can go visit the race office and just confirm if they really want to. But ideally, you go online, active.com, into your race profile and just see what you selected.
Exactly. And once you're on site and you see the bike checking queue not too busy, you can just come and check in. That's just to avoid big congestion at bike check-in and in the transition area. So just to guarantee a smooth process and not having too many people at the same spot at the same time.
Another question I see here, it's might be one of our Egyptian athletes in a relay from Mehdi. Thank you for your question, Mehdi. For the relay teams, they want to know, is it okay for the cyclist to be fully dressed already? Cycling shoes on, helmet on, the whole lot.
Yeah, this is actually how you save time and how you be the fastest out there. So just then that's the beauty of the relay. So you can be fully dressed. You don't have to think of transition other than running to your bike, grab it, and jump on it.
Super. Another question I've had, and I've seen it throughout. We've mentioned that it's going to be warm on Friday. We are in Dubai. We're in the Middle East. We're coming out of their winter, heading into summer. So yeah, it is going to be warm. We're anticipating warm conditions. I mean, it's not going to be warmer than the World Championship in Kona, Hawaii. It's not going to be warmer than the 70.3 World Championship we had in Nice, for example. Probably be warmer than the Sunday of the IRONMAN 70.3 World Championship in South Africa back in 2018. But the question is, will there be ice and will there be sponges? Now, it's driven by COVID.
Yeah, exactly. Sponges as from their nature are collecting and keeping bacteria and all of that stuff inside themselves, and that's why we're not using sponges at the races, especially not during these times.
Question: if the water is warm and it's deemed to be a non-wetsuit swim, obviously you're not allowed to wear calf guards, essentially goes beyond the knee. But the question here, and this came from Matt Benson, he's obviously a good swimmer. He wants to know, if it is wetsuit legal, can he still choose to swim without a wetsuit?
Yes, he can. Wetsuit optional means that you're allowed to choose from whatever legal suit you want. You can swim in your speedos, you can swim in shorts, and also you can swim in a wetsuit should it be wetsuit legal. So it's not wetsuit mandatory, it's wetsuit optional, or it's a non-wetsuit swim. It's either or.
There's a question from one of the spectators saying, what are the rules for the spectator? I know that this year we've had to reduce the temptation for spectators to gather, hence no big screen, hence no grandstands, because this creates a hotspot for people to all come together. Just how do we tell our athletes how to guide their spectators?
Yeah, but best would be for spectators to find the spot on the course. Do not push too much into the race venue, into the heartbeat of the race, in order not. That's very tempting, because the finish line is there, and this is where your athlete finishes his race and comes out after the race. So you get all the first emotions, the kissing and crying, and all the things we're missing so hard, and we're probably going to miss for another time. But we need to be strong and support our athletes out there on the course, and everyone else being still on the course after your athlete has finished will appreciate it if you still stick out there and cheer them on.
And for those people here in the Emirates, they can watch the race on Dubai Sports TV.
Yeah, that's true for everyone who's here, and maybe they don't feel comfortable even coming to the race venue. You can follow the race on Dubai Sports TV.
So, I think it is Amy Sarah said that her Wi-Fi dropped, or we buffed, and no sponges, because they are not part of the COVID protocol anymore. They're environmentally very unfriendly, but secondly, from a COVID point of view, it creates multiple touch points. The sponges are shared, and we can't allow that. So there will be ice, plenty of water to drink, and I know one of the ladies, actually was a man and a woman, who asked early on during the race briefing, and will there be enough water for those of us who like to enjoy the race course as much as possible?
Yeah, I mean, the local organization, and together with the Ironman team, we've followed the weather forecast closely, and definitely will take all measures necessary to being able to cater all the athletes in the same way and to the same degree.
I had a question here from Pablo Villapancho. Hola, Pablo. He's asking about how long do they have to answer the mail for the World Championship slot, and if I remember correctly, it was 48 hours.
Yeah, that's for the athlete to answer it. The mail will be sent someone after the race during the week after the race. So don't expect the email on Saturday morning, but look out for it for after Sunday or Monday, definitely. For after Monday, definitely.
Mohammed Panani asked, can they access the bicycle and the transition bags on race day morning?
That's a yes.
Yes, you can. And we recommend, because it's warm, and this is a general recommendation, put your bottles and your nutrition on your bike early morning, race day morning. Don't do it at bike check-in. But you have full access to blue bag, red bag, and bicycle. Can athletes help each other in the case of bike issues? So this is a rule that's been modified over time, and I know there's still a bit of confusion out there because we say no outside assistance. So long as
my wheel, because I have a shit day. Oh, excuse me.
A bad day.
French,
bad day. Sorry,
my French. You have a bad day. I have a bad day anyway, and I see you struggling, and I'll give you my front wheel because you have a flat tire. That will not be allowed. But if you're just not managing to get that tire off your wheel, then of course I'm allowed. Me as an athlete or co-athlete, I'm allowed to help you out.
So if you're in Lycra, you've got a timing chip around your left ankle, you've got a bib number on, you've got a wrist number on, athletes, so long as you do not compromise your ability to complete the race. That's the basics. They wanted confirmation. Yes, I'm glad you spotted that, Kitsy. Kitsy Smith went, oopsie. They want confirmation the race starts at 6:30. Pro men, 6:30. Pro women, 6:33, and all these amazing age groupers?
6:40. From 6:40 on, 4 athletes every 5 seconds.
Luis Castañeda, you don't have a wetsuit. Luis, we seriously doubt that between now and Friday morning that somebody's going to tow an iceberg just off the coast of the Jumeirah Public Beach and cool the water down.
You never know in Dubai though, but I doubt it.
So we highly doubt that it'll be so cold that it becomes wetsuit mandatory. So I think that's 16 degrees and below.
16 degrees. So the water temperature would need to drop for around 10 degrees. No, almost 10 degrees.
Another question was, will this recording be available to athletes to watch again later?
Yes, definitely. That's the whole sense of it, and that's the positive side of doing online briefings, that you can also rewatch it if you should have missed a part or you should have joined us late, if your internet connection has broken down, so you can still rewatch that briefing and
these answers.
With the answers we gave. That's both on Facebook and YouTube.
And we are there tomorrow during bike check-in. You know, the Ironman team that are down from Europe are there. The Ironman Middle East team are there. There are people in the race office. You know, we want to make your day amazing. And if there's anything you don't understand, there's no such thing as stupid question, although I once was asked if the water was wet. Claire, you were asking, can you get changed next to your bike? Without a doubt. Swim to bike, you get changed at the blue bags. Repack your bags, hang your blue bag, go to your bike ride. You come back from the bike, you get changed at the bike going onto the run. If post-bike going onto run, you feel the need to do a full change and going to expose maybe a little bit more flesh than is allowed locally, you do need to use additional tents that we have in the transition zone.
Exactly, and this also counts if you don't feel, even if you don't expose yourself, but if you just feel like you want to change in private, then you can use those for sure.
Pauline Gascoigne, you collect your timing chip as you finish the bag hanging in the bike check-in process. So when you leave the transition zone tomorrow, after you've left your bike and all your gear behind, that's when you will receive your timing chip. Keep that timing chip left ankle and only take it off when you've finished the race. Just as you leave the finish line area, there are these little sanitizing bowls that you leave your timing chip there once you're done with the race. trying to find some more. We don't need to answer any questions. Andy Fordham can answer all the questions. Look at him; he's so busy here.
Yeah, he does all the job. Hopefully, he doesn't send an invoice.
Well, Andy, you know what we could do? Andy Fordham is going to be the draft buster on the pros. We can make sure that there's enough fuel in that motorbike for 89 kilometers. Right, let's go to YouTube, see if I can find some.
I'll have one here. Obviously, it's not on your Facebook. That I was asking, and that's a good question. Will water be served in water bottles or proper bike bottles? So both ISO and water will be served in proper bike bottles.
On the run course, most of the fluids are in cups. Even ice, I believe, will be in cups. Sunday Triathlon on YouTube are asking a question. They asked two. Hopefully there'll be enough water for everyone. Well, yes, there will. And that's if everyone doesn't pour it all over their head all day long and actually just drink it. The other question was where to find information about wetsuits in the morning. Myself and my fellow announcer will make that announcement tomorrow, Friday morning, 5:45 a.m. We will announce the exact water temperature, wetsuit legal or not wetsuit legal, and we will walk you through the whole process. Don't worry about it. When will the event show up on the Ironman Athlete Tracker?
It's up. They're still working on a couple of details, but it will. I mean, it definitely will be ready on race day, but it will be ready to mark your favorites latest tomorrow.
Some people are asking about the PCR test. Do they need to be PCR tested at the venue, or can they bring a PCR test that they already have that's still 72 hours valid?
Yeah, exactly. That both that is the case for those who haven't been tested yesterday or tomorrow. They bring their certificate from when they flew into Dubai, and show that.
You know, we talk about electronics, no GoPros, no mobile phones, no MP3 players and stuff like that. On YouTube, one of our athletes asking, it's Dias Sarsenov, can he wear his Apple Watch?
Yes, he can wear his Apple Watch, and yeah, sorry for not being too techie here. As long as you don't make a phone call with it, which distracts you from biking, or as long as you don't text with it, then it's all good.
So another question from YouTube is, can we leave helmets on the bike pre-swim on race morning, or do they need to go in the blue bag?
That's a no, and that's a clear no. Everything stays in the bag, nothing on the ground except for the red bag. Bike shoes maybe at the bike when clipped into the pedals only, but we recommend changing into bike shoes at the blue bags.
Tina Phillips asks, what do you do with your wetsuit if you're on the beach and you say it's no longer wetsuit legal?
We'll announce that before you are at the beach.
5:45 a.m. So just so that you know, we only open the gates to access the beach at 5:45 a.m. So you wouldn't have left Transition before we tell you whether it's wetsuit legal or not. What time? There was another question. What time do we announce? 5:45. And I'm struggling to scroll through all the comments because they shoot through so quickly. PCR result done yesterday. PCR test done yesterday. Result came through a text message. Is it okay if they show the text message to say that the result was negative, or do they need the certificate that they get from the lab? Because you know, often when you do a PCR test, you get an SMS first.
Both works.
And I just see that Team Angel Wolf have been watching the briefing. They're very excited. We're excited to see you guys as well.
Perfect. Yeah, I love that.
Ironman 70.3 Greece, wishing everybody good luck. Thank you to them. Just trying to go through the rules for the spectators. Checking up some more of your questions. You're welcome to keep posting, and we'll get through to them as quickly as possible. I see that the questions have slowed down big time.
Bradley Cleveland is watching. Hey, Brad.
So somebody, Maria Eugenia Martinez, says, can you show the directions going from Transition to the racks to pick up the bike? and then the way going through the racks again to drop the bike and start the run. So Marie, that's a little bit difficult right now with the technology we're using in terms of to share the screen. My advice to athletes always is, and I'm sure you share the same thing, Nico, it might seem a little bit complicated or intimidating to you right now as you watch the briefing and you're looking at a map, but when you're there and you arrive tomorrow and you go into the transition zone, rack your bike, put your red bag by your bike, put your blue bag by the racks, you will see the flow. And Rod and various of our team are there. You can ask them, please just show me the flow from swim to bag, bag to bike, bike out, or bike back in again onto the run. And they will gladly show you the flow during check-in tomorrow.
If in doubt, follow the person in front of you.
Unless you're the person in front. And then you better know where you're going. And I'm just trying to find some more of our questions. Thank you for all your questions. We really do appreciate them. Remember, if you are looking for that slot for the 70.3 World Champs, you would have registered your interest initially. But there's a question here. Luvaldo van der Merwe, is there an after party?
No, as much as I hate to give this answer, but no, there won't be an after party. So we will have the awards given to athletes in the evening after the race. So if you're eligible for an award, you come back to the race venue. We'll have the awards on a table ready for you, where you can come pick them up yourselves, take another shot at the finish line. Yeah, unfortunately, and as sad as it is these days, it has to be done like that.
No parties for now, but we've got great memories. Ibrahim Naji, unzipping the tri-suit. Ibrahim, you can, but not completely. You can drop your zip, but not all the way down. It must still stay fastened at the bottom. Then do all the bags have to be left with the bike? Tomorrow, you have to leave bike, helmet, bib number, blue transition bag, and red transition bag. They have to stay overnight. You have full access to them on race day morning. And I'm trying to see, I think we're doing a good job of answering the questions. We're not getting many more questions. PCR tests, where can I get the... So Rich Lewis asks, he did a PCR test yesterday. Where can he get the results? He didn't get a message yet. It takes at least 12 hours. At least 12 hours for you to get your test.
And if not if you haven't got anything until tomorrow, so you'll be more than welcome to come back to the registration tent, and we'll sort that out together with our medical partner.
Marco Sorzi, Marco, thank you for your question. Just to be sure, an official told me today tattoos are mandatory. No, tattoos are not mandatory. They're optional, but they're cool. And they give you a great tan and a sunburn. And you look like you're at the World Championship. Wear your tattoos. I think they're cool.
Marco, ich glaube, mit der Nummer wird mega geil aussehen.
Bit of sweet to Deutsch there. If it is wetsuit illegal and no room left in the white bag, where can I leave it? Well, the best place to put it is in your blue bag. If you've got no space in the white bag, put it in the blue bag.
Simple as that.
And Nan Lee, no cell phone, even if it remains switched off. Unfortunately, the cell phone can often be a device for outside assistance. It can be a device that distracts you. So yes, no cell phones. And Ramizan Taral, thank you for the briefing. Absolute pleasure. Jan Wolf or Jan Wolf, is it wetsuit or skin suit? When will it be decided? It's always announced on race day morning, because let's say we make a decision now and we have a crazy hot Thursday, and today we say it's wetsuit legal, and we measure the temperature on Friday morning. We then tell you it's not wetsuit legal, then you're going to kill us. So it's quite simple. We always announce on race day morning. David Johns, is it possible to change my registration time after I have confirmed it?
Yes, it is. You, it has it's a bit the common sense when you come to the venue and you'll see a big queue. Then yeah, we'll definitely stick to those times. If it's not that a busy time, of course you'll be able to register. Also, if it's a time which you haven't chosen.
I saw a question that I got a red wristband. Is that the right one? Yes. I think the color we had was green, and I think I might have got it wrong. Without a doubt, individual athletes, you are racing with red wristbands. And so, Uva Ball, I can't find the place to book and my check-in time on active.com website. Please, can you explain how to get there? Is it on your personal profile or where is it? I know this is complicated.
Yeah. Actually, there has been an email sent out with the link to book your check-in time and
So check your emails and look for the link.
Otherwise,
that's one place to do it.
Otherwise, please contact registration tomorrow, and we'll sort you out there.
What temp must the water be for it to be a non-wetsuit swim? It's above 24.5.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anything above 24.5 will become a non-wetsuit swim. Ingrid, hello Ingrid. Nice to have you joining us. Ingrid's question, will bike pumps be provided in the transition zone in the morning?
The bike mechanics definitely have a couple of pumps with them. Best to be self-sustainable, or yeah, you help each other's out with your track pumps. And I'm sure we'll find a space in transition where you can leave them during the race and then pick them up at bike checkout.
I think Marco sent you a response in Switzerland. I can't understand that.
he needs every
little millimeter
on his skin to be able to transpire it. It's fine.
Right, let's see if I've got any more YouTube questions. Yeah, mobile phones, cell phones, whatever, they're not allowed. So, and we don't recommend you putting any valuables in your white bags. We really, really don't. Can we receive water from the public on the running track? Negative. That is outside assistance. The only people you can receive any assistance from are Ironman staff, Ironman volunteers, and officials. And then athletes may help fellow athletes while racing. Not an athlete who's done and standing on the side of the road and is now a spectator. That's not allowed. Can I use a camelback during the bike ride?
Yes, of course. Be self-sustainable. This is one of the principles of return to racing.
There's a question, why do the relay teams start last? And I presume they're referring to the swim.
Yeah, that's a common rule where the relay teams start at the end, and we'll stick to that.
So essentially, Ironman, I mean, I'm not going to start a debate here, but Ironman started as an individual endeavor. And over time, to make the sport more accessible, Ironman introduced relays in the shorter distances, 51.50 and 70.3. And there is the possibility that the first athlete over the line could be a relay athlete, and potentially relay athletes could interfere in the individual races of individuals by being part of the bike and part of the run. So by creating a decent amount of separation, we reduce the odds of any interference in individual man's race, individual women's race, and essentially in a relay race. So the relays are racing themselves in their category, and the individual men are racing themselves in their category, and the individual women in their category, so to speak, all on the same open course. Matthew Benson says he's looking forward to Friday. That's great. Mark Kenny says, so the start time has been changed slightly from 7 to 6:30. What weather conditions are we expecting? Well, we're in the Middle East and we're in a desert. We're 7 to 8 weeks later than normal, which means we are expecting warmer conditions than what we traditionally run. We have a lot of first-time athletes racing as well.
So yeah, plan your day properly. Look at the weather forecasts. So we're relying on the same weather forecast that you looking at. So it's gonna be warm, especially later in the day. Probably take enough, hydrate well. Also the days, like also tomorrow, definitely also tomorrow, and yeah, stay cool.
Question from Giuseppe Russo. He says visible. Now, in ITU racing, there's the whiteboard with your race number on to say you've got a penalty. Typically in our racing, we don't necessarily do that as standard. It is the athlete's responsibility to acknowledge the referee, and you shouldn't be in a peloton, Giuseppe. So if you're in a peloton, carded, then go to the penalty box and admit you were in a peloton. Because if you're in a peloton, you're drafting. That's my humble opinion. I don't know how to be nice about it. So if you don't know that you got carded because you were in a peloton, then you should be carded. For the rest, it's up to you. The referee blows a whistle, they point a card at you. You must acknowledge that card, know what color card you received. Your responsibility to go to the penalty box and serve the penalty. And Nico, I don't know how to say it any different, and I don't know how to be nice about it.
No, it's exactly to the point, and yeah, we're sticking to that. If you got a card shown, and you're gonna serve the penalty, and that's your own responsibility. If you're on our list of being shown a card and we don't have you down as to have served the penalty, will be a DQ.
Scott Charlesworth, official merchandise, Dubai 70.3 branded. He was told that there wouldn't be any merchandise on site this year. Is there?
There is no official merchandise this year.
Will there be any to purchase online? No. As things currently stand, Charles, sorry not. Dave Swart, for UAE residents, can we just show our Al Hosn app PCR status on our phone, or do we have to print it out?
That will be fine.
The app on your phone will be suitable. Absolutely fine. There we go. Omar saying thanks a lot for the briefing. They're asking about bibs again. Bibs are not allowed. Your bib number, your startnummer, not allowed on the swim. Compulsory at the back on the bike, compulsory on the run. And I think that's it. Thank you for being with us this evening. Thank you for listening in. If there's anything you've missed or we've missed, come get a hold of us during bike check-in tomorrow. Pop into the race office if need be, if it's serious. Otherwise, this will be available on the IRONMAN 70.3 Middle East YouTube channel if you want to view it again and go through the briefing again in fine detail, and also available on the IRONMAN 70.3 Dubai Facebook page. So, from Nico Ashiman, myself, and the entire team here at IRONMAN 70.3 Dubai, the 6th edition is not long to go. We'll see you bright and early on Friday morning on the beach. We wish you the best of luck.
Transition closing.
The professional men on their way. They come to Mesa Field. Russia, home streets. And another victory.
Still waiting for First Lady.
Representing the nation of Kazakhstan.